For decades, TV has been the #1 source for news content. In the past, young people would watch the news on TV in the living room with their parents and practice the same habit when they reach their parents' age. But in 2018, we're not in that same linear television space. Young people watch TV less, and viewing habits have shifted to online. We have a new generation, different from ever before, also known as Generation Z, who have been connected to digital from a young age and are proven to be the hardest generation to engage with. Good Morning Britain's Piers Morgan has worked across all media platforms in his career.
In a way, presenting Good Morning Britain is very similar to editing the Daily Mirror. We just do it on TV. It reminds me of a kind of rolling morning conference at the Mirror, where we got all the top people around and had arguments about issues of the day, talked about big scoops and big interviews we might be getting, and the only difference really is that we used to just put the results of those conference meetings into a newspaper, and now we do them all live on air. Print newspapers are dying out, and dying out fast. I would be astonished if within 15-20 years there are any print newspapers.
Annabelle used to watch a lot of TV, but now she consumes most of her news content through her phone.
I think that bite-sized information comes across so well, it blends in with what your friends are doing, and it makes it really digestible for someone my age. I want news that's personalised to me, that I can access where I want, when I want it. The future of news will be something that's super accessible and tailored to me.
I think the most successful thing we've done at Good Morning Britain is have that really symbiotic real-time relationship between our viewers and social media. So much so that last year, of the top 10 most tweeted about shows on British television, Good Morning Britain was one of those 10. So we were mixing it with much bigger shows because of our social media activity. That, I think, will sustain and drive ratings over the longer term, and also just create that relationship with our viewers who are perhaps watching us with one eye and on the other eye on Twitter finding out what else is going on. If you can bring the two together, then ka-ching.
TV is the most used platform for news nowadays, used by 79% of UK adults, followed by the internet with 64%, radio with 44%, and newspapers with 40%. The amount of time watching broadcast television has declined. The average viewing time is down 15% since 2012. For 16 to 24-year-olds and ethnic minority groups, the internet is the most used platform with 82%, compared to the 57% that use TV.
What we find in newspapers, we find the same in telly. You've got to follow the eyes. And people's eyes are on their phones, that's where you want it. They won't read a full paper or watch the full Good Morning Britain on it, but they'll want the little chunks, won't they? They'll want the highlights.
Yeah, and of course some people read the entire Daily Mail on their mobile phone. There's an app, which means you can get the ads, so you can skip the ads or read the ads. And I've never thought I'd be writing a story for a telephone.
Yeah, what Tory boy writes that's worth reading, you can probably get on the back of a postage stamp.
Social media has given everyone a voice, and we've seen a steep rise in citizen journalism. Neil Latte and Ahmed Faid from Dose Society have created their own news platform.
You speak to people about real life social issues. We don't feel like the news outlets today represent a lot of people, and you don't really hear what the ordinary person from the streets of London or Manchester or Leeds actually think about real life issues.
We're actually getting to know what people actually think.
If, mainstream media opens the door and speaks to your real life person on the streets, I think that's when we'll start seeing an interesting shift in journalism. I mean, they're seeing it anyway with platforms like ours, and they'll continue to see it. I think 15 million views in the space of a year, 40,000 followers plus, building online communities, and, because we're just speaking to ordinary peoples, and it's having a real life effect.
The problem these days is that everyone thinks they're a journalist in the same way that everyone thinks they're a photographer, because their phone allows them, or their laptop allows them to write a blog and to post it on social media. But people like me, we're trained journalists. We went through 2-3 years of hard training, and I think that's important. If you want to be a proper journalist, then get the proper training, because it's a difficult profession. And I think the biggest challenge facing all journalists in the modern era is fake news and people who are writing stuff perhaps which is completely inaccurate or untrue. They have no journalistic training, and they're putting it up there into the ether where it gets picked up by other people, and before you know it, it's coming back as fact. And I think that's a real danger for everybody.